Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of Voice of the Voices. We're the Ohio guys, and we are coming to you from OhioCon in Columbus, Ohio. Today, I have with me the very talented Greg Ayres. How are you doing today, Greg?
Pretty good. I'm very tired, but I work staff at OhioCon, so I'm supposed to look tired today.
Okay. So we just had a couple questions about some shows you worked on.
Yeah,
I want to know what it was like working on them. The first one is, what was it like working on Negima?
Negima was fun. I'm a big fan of British television, so the accent work wasn't hard. Now, the little screechy voice, that's a different thing. I keep telling people I hope they finally get to an arc in the story where Nagy hits puberty and his voice changes. But it's a fun show. I had a lot more fun working on the second season just because our director, Jamie Markey, was also writing it and in it. And I think just her being that involved, we had a little bit better flow on it. And it's a little bit more modern story, too. And then we did the very naughty OVAs. There's nothing about Negima that doesn't have a little naughtiness in it. But all in all, it's a cute show. I had a lot of fun working on it. And there seems to be an endless supply of manga still out there, so maybe there's hope. There's something coming down later. But
And another show you worked on that's pretty dark, Deadman and Wonderland. What was it like working on that?
I got, it's cool. I did 2 shows back to back. It was the 2 Summers of Blood, I jokingly say, because, we were part of the Toonami Resurrection with Deadman Wonderland, which is a bloody, bloody, bloody show that I did for Funimation. And then the great thing is Monica Rial and I had the 2 lead characters in that. Well, the summer after that, this last summer, for Sentai Filmworks, Monica and I did a show called Another. And the amount of blood in that show makes the amount of blood in Deadman Wonderland look like a joke. Another is like the bloodiest show I've ever done. But Monica and I agreed, because we really like spooky shows, and she's like, we should do all the creepy shows together. But there's even a weird coincidence, because I'm not going to spoil anything, but Shiro and Gonta have a whole conversation about the Ferris wheel. A line at the end of Another, when it's just our 2 characters, he asks Monica's character on a date, and he goes, I was thinking maybe you might want to go to an amusement park, and she goes, why? And he goes, maybe ride a Ferris wheel. She goes, God, I hate those things. So it's funny, there's like a joke, a little mini joke built in for both of us, but it's just a coincidence. There's no tie-in between the 2, but we just ended up being in 2 bloody shows with a Ferris wheel, but it's cool. I loved working on Deadman. I loved being a part of the Toonami relaunch. It's cool because I used to live tweet during the show, and now that's become real normal for actors to do. So it's been a lot of fun watching other people pick up on that and interact with fans the way, because it's fun. It's a lot of work because you have to watch TV and have all your laptop and your iPad. Because I was connected while I was live tweeting during the show. I was connected to my Facebook, my Twitter, and something else. I can't. Oh, and my real Facebook page, my fan page, and my Twitter. So it was like, hang on. So it was a lot of fun, but yeah, it was a great show. Shows like that only come around once in a while, so I was really excited to be a part of that.
And another show you worked on for Funimation, one of my personal favorites, Heaven's Lost Property. What was it like working on that show?
It's just comedy. It's just a lot of boobs and a lot of comedy, but it's funny, and my director on that show, Christopher Bevins, is really one of the best, but it's just, there's not much to say about it other than it's just funny. I sing a song called My Tingly Nips in that show about his nipples, which is a joke. But the great thing is, this is behind the studio's information, there was a problem, and there were 2 people at Funimation were talking about the booby song and the panty show. I'm putting it into cute terms. And this producer and this director had a conversation for a full 10 minutes before they realized they were talking about the wrong booby song in the wrong panty show. And the fact that you can have a booby song in 2 different panty shows is hysterical. But that's the kind of stuff you deal with when you do that high-end, ecchi comedy. It's funny and weird and wacky. And I love the character because he's just a goofball. So it's good stuff.
Now that we covered some of the stuff you worked on for Funimation,
Yeah.
We had some questions about some other companies you
Yeah,
worked for, like Sentai and
Filmworks,
ADV.
yeah.
What was it like working on Ghost Stories?
Ghost Stories, there's not going to ever be a show that's as much fun to work on as Ghost Stories was. The long and the short of it, if you don't know what Ghost Stories is, there was a show in Japan called Ghost Stories in High School. Only it was in Japanese, and it was what's the word for it? Really bad. It was really bad. So they couldn't sell it. The Japanese couldn't license it, and they finally gave it to ADV, and they said, "Look, you can do whatever you want with this," and we did just that. They hired about, I guess it was 11 or 12 of us who are like real quick on our feet, comedy people, and they just said, "Y'all rewrite the show. Y'all have fun with it." We had rules. Excuse me. Obviously, we couldn't, because it's about Chinese and Japanese ghost legends, we couldn't change the names of the ghosts or change how you killed the ghost, but like we could change the chant that you said, and we couldn't change our names. We couldn't change the basic gist of the episode, but we didn't have to do that thing that, all hardcore fans like, they strayed 2 words from the Japanese. No, we were allowed to make fun of George Bush and Christian Slater. In fact, I started a joke that would be what would run the entire series, and I just thought it was going to be a one-liner. There's a scene where we're watching this parking garage either being built or demolished, and for some reason when I was seeing it, it looked like the scene, it reminded me of the scene where Christian Slater talks about how his mother died in Heathers, and so I go, oh wait, hang on, let me watch it. And the way we would basically do it is we watch it and like think of a joke, like, okay, let's see how I can make that fit, and like, okay, I think I got it, and so the line ended up being, this reminds me of that scene in Heathers. Remember when Christian Slater had a career? And that joke never ended. It went all the way to like episode 12, or episode 23. Yeah, because it was 4 volumes or 5 volumes. Later on in the episode, when we were watching people getting on the boat to go to the River Styx, there was like Kurt Cobain, Walter Cronkite, Christian Slater's career, and that became this running joke. My favorite piece of artwork a fan's given me is this little wooden coffin, and when you open it up, it's Christian Slater's IMDb page, and they've changed the year of death to question mark, question mark, question mark, question marks. It's really funny, it says date born, date died. Well, it says, date born, and then it says ... question mark, question mark, question mark. So, it was a blast. You can't not have fun on a show where you're given that much creative license. Monica and I presented the show at Otakon the year it came out, and we were actually booed. People in the audience booed Monica Rial and I, and we thought it was funny. We're like, we're being booed. And but as much as people took offense to it when it first came out, we eventually beat Full Metal Alchemist for the dub of the year that year, and they called it the little dub that could. So and now it's become like this cult show. ADV, since there is no ADV anymore, the license was dropped, and it sucked for me because I thought we could redub the show every 5 years and still make it funny because all the pop culture references change, and maybe not even do the whole show, but maybe the first 5 episodes and give it away as a download, as a way to thank fans for being so loyal to the show. But then ADV, went the way of the horse, and the license was dropped. Luckily, Discotheque Media rescued the license, and it's going to come back out again this March, complete with our bad dub and all of our bad humor. And so I'm excited the show's coming back out. Right now, it's really hard to find, so it's cool. Definitely check it out.
I think one of my favorite parts in that is when you guys call each other out.
Oh yeah, we make fun of each other. Yeah, Chris Patton and I get made fun of in the theatrical episode. I think later they say Hillary is pregnant with Vic's baby, and we even make fun of the directors at ADV. There's jokes about Matt Greenfield, and a joke that probably no one will get. David Williams, who's a well-known director who used to direct for ADV Films, loves Cutie Honey and Dirty Pear, and he has all the figures in his office. They always they always say he's a dirty old man, that he likes looking at cartoon underwear. Well, there's a scene where Hillary's character is climbing up the panner. I'm tired. She's climbing up a ladder, and it's this upskirt shot. You're looking right up her skirt, and she goes, "Stop looking at my GD dress. I'm an effing cartoon." David Williams. And it's like little jokes like that aren't even meant for everybody. Some of them are meant for us, but there's 100 jokes going out an hour, literally. It's just a real fast-paced, weird comedy, and there's something in it for everybody. It's just awful and weird and funny, so.
And a movie you recently did for Sentai, Colorful. What was it like working on that? It's really hard to describe how much I loved Colorful, and first of all, I think Colorful captures what most of us anime fans
find so fascinating about Japanese storytelling. Like I know to some people what we do look like, what we love looks like cartoons, but like Japanese storytelling is different, and it's more about telling a great story. And this isn't giving anything away. If you read a synopsis or even the back cover, you'll find out that this story starts with a teenage boy's suicide, and it is a dark, morbid, sad show, very sad show, and it has the most brilliant way of pulling itself up at the very last second and delivering like the most beautiful, positive message on earth. Don't want to tell you anything about. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. It is just a fascinating story, and now like it won several awards in Japan, and I know why now. It's just a really neat story. That said, Lucy and I kind of played the typical characters we do. I play a lot of little boys, weak, sad little boys. She plays a lot of little spunky characters like her character, but everyone else in that show played against what they normally play. Brittany Kurbowski plays this like super awkward, almost mouth-breathing little girl that like can't even like get up the nerve to talk to my character. Carly Mosier, who's known for playing like sexy, vivacious, she plays the very doty mother who I'm not going to say why, but she ends up spending half of the show in tears, crying. And so it's neat to see actors that commonly get pigeonholed into one type of role, stretching and doing these fantastic roles. So, that's one of those shows that I like. As much as I say I loved working on something, that's something that I'm proud that I was a part of because it's such a neat show and since I also do work with like anti-bullying initiatives, it has a really neat anti-bullying message at a certain point in the show too that I think is really really cool. So yeah, just an awesome show. Yeah, really cool stuff.
Now, is there anything that's recently been announced or that you're working on that you'd like to plug or that you can talk about?
We are cranking out anime at the speed of light at Sentai right now. I pretty much do all of my recording at Sentai. I have a new show coming out for Funimation, but I'm not allowed to talk about it yet. But it's not the one everybody thinks it is. But right now we're usually working on 2 or 3 shows at a time for Sentai, so we're just throwing them out. And I've done several new shows that are really really fun. Weirdly enough, I did this super romantic, like, very girly-ish show, but I love it, called Say I Love You. And I play what would normally be the typical horn dog, booby chaser, but unlike most series, once he confesses his love to this girl who has big boobs, they become boyfriend and girlfriend, and they just are happy the rest of the show, which is not normal for an anime, but it's a very sweet, very romantic show. Obviously with a title like Say I Love You. But I also worked on Little Busters, and I play against type on that. I play the guy that's obsessed with muscles and health and all that, and he's ridiculous. Lots of stuff. There's Medaka Box, Fibrain, there's one that I can't pronounce, Hiro no Kakadu or something. I probably just murdered that name for you. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're working on so much. I think it's Oh Samurai Girls. I play a horny talking dog in that show. Yeah, so just a lot of new fun stuff. If it says Sentai on it and there are boys in it, I'm probably in it.
Okay.
So.
Well, just in case people haven't caught our other interview with you.
You forgot Beck.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. There's one more show we have to ask you about.
Oh.
Beck,
Don't
what
mind
was
us,
it like
we're watching
working
sign
on?
language.
Yeah, we were just like, okay. So what was it like working on Beck?
Oh man, that's hard for me to not ramble on again. Beck's one of my favorite shows. Mainly, and I'm sad he's not here. I have a friend that is just like my character in Beck. In fact, I know him through anime conventions. He's a big anime fan. I met him when he was 12 years old at a convention in Chicago. Him and his grandma. We call her Granime because she takes all these boys to these. I was like, your grandma is a hoss. She loads all you smelly boys into one car and puts you all in a hotel room and puts up with you all weekend. But I've known him and his grandma forever, and he is just like Koyuki. He's a little boy who wanted to learn to play guitar and taught himself. And while I was working on the show, like, that is who I spent a lot of time talking to. And even though I don't like have children friends, since I knew his grandma, and we don't even live. I can be accused of nothing creepy because we don't even live near each other. But I was like, this kid is really cool, and he's exactly what I'm playing in the show, and so we got to be friends, and it's cool because he's like a little brother to me now, but he's just like Koyuki, and now he's like in this rock band in Chicago called Cheyenne Line, so check him out, and he wins just like Koyuki. He is this crazy, ridiculously talented singer, and the fact that it's so close to a real story to me is a big deal. I like the story of Beck in general. Well, I guess the first part, I'm tired, so I'm probably not making a lot of sense. The first thing I was saying is because it has a personal connection to somebody I care about. Like, that's one thing. The story is fun because it's like a real slice of life show. If it wasn't for the two dogs, it could be a well, it is a live action film now, but it's just one of those shows that there's no magic sword, no spaceship, just a kid that has a lot of determination. And then the music, oh God, I could go on. Like, the music is fantastic. And it was really kind of the launch. Like, she did a few things before that, but that is really the show that launched Brina Palencia, out front. And now she's on The Walking Dead. Like, she's, her career is just fantastic. And I always think it goes back to Beck, but she's, that's just a real special show to a lot of us for a lot of reasons. So, yeah.
Now, just in case if people haven't caught our previous interview with you, is there any way fans can get in touch with you or follow you on any social media networks?
Yeah, social media is kind of weird for me. I have a website that hasn't been updated in 9 years now, but that's partly because I insist on handling all my own social media, and I won't say who. As a young anime fan, I wrote somebody that I wanted to meet, and I got a form letter back. So I decided I would never be that guy, but because I also don't have a secretary, it means I don't get to answer a lot of emails anymore. And but I am active. I have a Facebook fan page. I would say my Facebook page, but Facebook has a limit of 5,000 people, and I've weirdly already come to that point. But I have a fan page, which I hate using the word fan page because we're all fans, but like a Facebook page, and I'm active there. That's where I did a lot of the live tweeting. And then I also have a Twitter account. And I'm getting the hang of Twitter and liking Twitter. I have a Tumblr account, but it's really totally non-anime. It's just things that I dig or whatever. So, and Tumblr's got a lot of drama. So I tend to move Awkward Turtle away from Tumblr. So, but I'm on all the social media. I'm sure when there's a new one, I'll be on that one too. But hopefully not. That's too many emails. But yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us. It was a
Definitely,
pleasure.
Definitely. Thanks.
I'm Ansel. He's Greg.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
Defo.